which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, and welcome everybody to our last city council meeting of 2025. First item on our agenda tonight, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as posted and sent to the news media 24 in advance of the 25 hours of the meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Palmer, second by Mr. Lamos. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have the leadership phase statement. The City of Hampton endeavors at all times to promote and model the principles of professionalism, trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. In conducting this evening's meeting, we expect that all participants will act in a respectful manner and consistent with these principles. Thank you. Next, we didn't have a council meeting workshop because that would have been tonight. We moved our council meeting for the holiday. Next item up is the public comment. So if there's anybody that has a public comment this evening. Not all at once. All right, not hearing any, we will move on. There's no public hearings, no old business. We'll move on to our new business. First thing we have is if I can spell it or say it, certificate of appreciation. Thank you. Anyway, we just got a card from a very nice thank you card from REC for our part of the light up the night and the park decorating. We wanted to recognize our REC, so I wrote down a couple of notes. Thank you guys for your diligence and teamwork that you have contributed to the city park for the past several years. Hampton takes a lot of pride in our city park, and every year REC goes above and beyond to make it bigger and better every year. Every year I hear more and more comments from people about how beautiful our park is. And this isn't just coming from our Hampton residents. I'm hearing this from surrounding communities and folks that are just passing through. They love it and they talk about it, and it's really becoming a something for everybody to want to see. So again, a big thank you for your commitment and for making our community beautiful and all the hard work that you put in every year. So we'd like to present you with this certificate. So come on.
You go around there and they'll take a picture.
Yeah, we can put there. Come on over here by the flag. That's where we use it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Come on.
We're going to take a picture. How about you get back there? Yes, you get with Mom over here. Come on. Yes. Okay. It's all good. Okay. All right, 1, 2.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, and like I said, every year I hear more and more and more about our park, and I know people in Mason City, like the one gal in Taco Bell, her parents live in Dumont. She knows who I am now, and she talks about our park every time we come, so thank you guys. All right. Next, we'll do Susie Kniffel with the library for our quarterly report.
So I'll start out and update you on some projects at the library. The landscape's looking a little different there. The north side project was completed. That's the retaining wall. Happy to say almost 100% of that project was sourced locally, which is always our intent, you know, if we can get the right people. That was funded by the Franklin County Foundation grant for $10,000, and then the Hampton Library Foundation paid the other 13. It came to about 23,000. And then we had All American Landscaping, City of Hampton employees. Tony Garcia did the concrete. Adam Wickwire did some tuck pointing and waterproofing. So looks really nice. We have leftover money from our birthday party, so that will be used for landscaping in the spring. So
All
yeah,
right.
we're very, very happy with everything. Then the other project was the library sign. Once again, that was sourced locally with getting signs, and that was funded a design grant for Main Street, 2,000, an anonymous gift of 2,000, and then the Friends of the Hampton Public Library funded the rest. So it looks really nice. I added the Jefferson Highway sign, which Memorial Hall also has, and thought that was a nice touch to it. We've gotten a lot of nice compliments about that, so. Then our big news, obviously, is the Carnegie Corporation gift of $10,000. It is a gift, not a grant, so good news, there's not a lot of paperwork that'll come. We'll, you know, we will get a check in January. I'm assuming the check will come to the city of Hampton, not to me, but as long as we get the check, you know, I don't care who it comes to. So 100 libraries in the state of Iowa are receiving this gift. So that's $1 million to the to the libraries in the state. I found that fascinating. Very, very few restrictions with this, except the money must stay with the library. So normally with a $10,000 gift, it would probably go to the foundation, but I cannot redistribute that. It must stay with the library, and, you know, well, we won't have any problem spending it. The library board is going to determine how that money is spent. You know, it's a 120-year-old building, so we're gonna find something to do with that. So they've really been, you know, kind of writing down, you know, every month we'll be talking about it, what can we use it for, and, you know, that sort of thing. And then lastly, we've been really busy at the library with a ton of programming. The Puzzle Challenge, very successful. We've got round 2 in January. The Pack the Windsor promotion, I've got at least 60 people signed up for that. Read the book, see the movie, so we're gonna, you know, pack that Windsor. And then when it's all over, we'll just stand up and scream the book was better, but, you know, I'll just kind of tell you right now, we literary people, that's how we feel. The library open house was December 11th, so thank you to all who attended. We had a story time with the Grinch, had 90 people for that. Our second annual soup challenge is January 20th, and we will be partnering with the auditor's office to do a voter registration drive. And that will be later this spring. Just talk to Katie about that. And then I am applying for recertification through the state library. We are currently a level 3, which is the highest grade. My hope is we will continue to be a level 3, but it's a pretty involved certification process. So I'll be at it a while. So, and that, anybody have any questions or comments?
Any questions? Not hearing anything.
Okay.
Thank
well,
you very much for
thank
the
you very
report. We
much.
appreciate it.
Susie?
Next, we have the ISG work order proposal for 4 and 6 First Street Northwest rehab project. Mr. Dunt.
Thank you, Mayor. Caleb Hayes with ISG is going to be zooming in. Is he in? Okay. Caleb, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. So Caleb, I'll just kind of turn it over to you to go through the work order proposal and kind of summarize some discussions that we've recently had and where we go from here on the pharmacy property.
All right, thanks, Ron. Good evening, everyone. As Ron said, I am with ISG. I am a project manager. We've been working on helping facilitate the rehabilitation of 4 and 6, buildings 4 and 6. And now we're to the next steps where we're going to start doing some structural upgrades, or not necessarily upgrades, but repairs to the building. And that was kind of the plan all along once the abatement work was done. And upon further discussions, we had to get our architect involved, just to look at some of the code issues, make sure that we had, exterior doors and things of that nature in the proper place once those walls are repaired. And when we talked about it a little bit further, we decided that in discussion with Ron, we thought it might be best to take a look at some of the other systems as far as mechanical systems, electrical systems, just making sure that it's a at least presentable building to make it a little bit easier for you guys to resell and get back into the community. So what that worker order is for is just the investigation portion of my team coming down, which would include myself, my structural engineer, and my architect, to investigate the building, maybe advise on some of the other systems that are in there, or talk through potential space usage. We don't want to push you guys one direction or the other, but give the best idea of what it could look like and have the highest possibility of turnover. And the reason we propose doing it on time and material is it's really hard to quantify an amount when we're doing stuff like this, and we usually have to shoot pretty high. So rather than doing that, we try to propose doing time and material, and in the long run, it usually ends up saving you guys money because we do have to shoot so high without knowing exactly what we're going to get into.
Thank you, Caleb. Is that understandable? Any questions for clarification or anything? Okay. Caleb, can you remind me, it's early January is when you'd planned on coming to the site again, is that correct, with your team?
Correct, January 15th.
Okay, all right. Yeah, any questions?
The north wall was insulated. What was the cost of that?
Oh, I think it was under $1,000. Yeah, that was insulated to provide some sort of a barrier, since we have no heat between us and the wood cellar. They were feeling the cold from our building.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Caleb or Mr. Dunt?
And the fee schedule is the second page that he referred to, time and materials. So whatever, I guess that's the fees that will be applied for any work that is done in this next step.
Okay, and on the comments there, will that include looking at the electric and the plumbing, or looking electric and gas service, possibly to put in new service into that?
Yeah, one of the things we talked about, the one-story additions on the rear with the very deteriorated brick will be demolished, fully removed. That whole west wall from the basement up to the apartments on the second story will be completely removed, and a new block wall constructed. And so one of the things we were talking about is that the time to go ahead and put a gas line, but put a gas line into the building and electrical service to the building, so that once that wall is complete, there would be some minimal outlets so that there's service to the property. And they're going to look into what that would add to the cost of design and actual maybe construction as well. So,
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the ISG work order proposal for 4 and 6 First Street Northwest rehab project.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Griefy, second by Mr. Davies. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Caleb, for your information this evening.
Yep, thank you.
All right, moving on. We got to pay some bills. So I'd entertain a motion to approve claims as submitted by staff in the amount of $115,217.95.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Palmer,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Lamos. Any further discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now we have ordinance 409, I'm sorry. This is for the additional no parking space. And do you have that in front of you, Mr. Dunn?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This would be additional no parking on Third Avenue Southeast on the south side, from Fourth Street Southeast westerly to the alley between Fourth Street Southeast and Third Street Southeast. This is second reading.
All right. I would entertain a motion at this point to approve the second reading of ordinance 409.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Holmstrom, second by Ms. Rhodey. This is a roll call vote. Mr. Palmer,
Aye.
Mr. Lamos,
Aye.
Mr. Holmstrom,
Aye.
Mr. Davies.
Aye.
Ms. Rhodey,
Aye.
Ms. Greepy.
Aye.
Thank you. The vote of 6-0, second reading pass. We will have the next one on our next council meeting, and hopefully to finish that up. Next, we have the consent agenda. And this would include approving the previous minutes from Thursday, December 11th, 2025, of regular session. Schedule the next regular session for Thursday, January 8th, 2026, at 6 p.m. at the City Council Chambers, and approve alcohol licensing for A&Z Liquor, 2721 Central Avenue West, Hampton, Iowa. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agendas.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Palmer,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Lamos. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Brings us down to our staff reports. Chief Morrison.
Yeah, we all several of us attended the graduation of Officer Bo Brass last Friday. His first day back was tonight, so he's working today 3 to 11. On the nuisance side of things, all court cases got continued to next year. They're still out there writing notices even though the snow is on the ground. And 6 of the vehicles that we impounded in the last week, 4 of them we still have, so we'll be working on junking titles for those. So that's all I got.
Any questions? Mr. Lamos.
I was wondering about the fire that was at the Brothers.
Yep.
Was the fire marshal gonna look at that, or?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, so it was like, he was using a torch or something, and,
They were using some kind of tools inside the building, and it started, we believe, electrically from the pole.
okay,
I don't know what they were drawing, but
thank you.
Any other questions for Chief Morrison? Not hearing. Thank you, sir. Mr. Tar.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As the Chief alluded to, a lot of the court stuff's been pushed back to January, so it looks like we're going to be in court quite a few days. I have a couple municipal infractions waiting to be served, probably for some court dates in late January as well coming up. And I think other than that, I think I'll just entertain questions.
Mr. Lamos.
Was curious on snow ordinance for sidewalks. If my sidewalk is 4 foot wide, can I get by with shoveling 20-inch path?
So if you make a reasonable effort, we're probably not gonna do anything with that, because if I try to take that to court, I'll get spanked, because the court will probably say, yeah, you can get away with that. So, if you want me to pursue more, it's supposed to be 100% free, but it doesn't say 100%, but it's supposed to be free and clear.
Well,
So if you have
you're gonna
paving, it should
lose,
be.
it's a waste of time.
Right, right. But yeah, if people are making a valiant effort, that's one thing. But if, don't get me wrong, I stopped to talk to a couple business owners last week, because there were a few that dropped the ball over near the Windsor area, I believe. So wasn't the Windsor, but across the street from there.
It wasn't the Windsor.
No, it wasn't the Windsor. No, they did a good job. Matter of fact, some parts came off of their guy's snow blower, and we found that in the snow pile. But no, I've tried to make some contacts with some of those folks, not residential, but a couple of the business
There's
owners.
some in my neighborhood that, I don't know if they ever got shoveled.
Okay.
The Bees Lake sewer line, have they stopped for the winter?
No, they're going full steam ahead at lunch today again. I think there was a holdup on that. There was something about a permitting process for the county drainage district, I believe, or something. So I wasn't privy to much of that. So I think it was stopped for a little bit till some stuff got organized. But I seen today they were putting a lot of pipe in the ground today and really trying to hurry.
Are they boring the whole project?
I don't think the whole project, but quite a bit of it, I think they are.
When they originally came to us, I thought they were gonna come down Olive Avenue.
Yeah, I don't recall the exact. I mean, I think they threw out a couple of different ideas, and then once you probably get into the bidding process and find out what's the most fiscally responsible, they might have chose a different direct route, I suppose. But that's a force main, keep in mind, so they
Right.
don't have to keep, the gravity going too much on that. Now, hopefully, having said that, I think McDowell's are the general contractor on the putting the pipe in anyway.
Well, so will they have us, hire us to look at the wet wells and the
No,
lift stations?
No, want nothing to do with it.
no, we will
Okay.
do no maintenance on it.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Anybody else for Mr. Tar?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Holmstrom?
Well, this morning when we bumped into each other, you told me a little bit about the project going on north of the hospital.
Yes, the
If
solar.
You could share a little bit more on that, or?
All I can share is that there's a solar field project that's going in for the hospital. We did give them permission to do some, they had to take out a grove of trees, which they did, and they burned without anyone knowing about it, but we did give them permission to do that on there because it was on the very edge of town, and we had a gentleman's agreement. Basically, they would do it to where the wind would be blowing to the north, and they did that, and I think it's pretty much about out and done. It worked. They're doing the grading work now, so then once the grading work's done, I anticipate they'll be putting their solar field in. So hopefully that'll be some cost savings to our hospital, maybe yeah, and the wellness center, yes.
I
So,
think they're connecting it to the wellness center also.
Right.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, I think that'll be huge for them. Hopefully some big cost savings on their utility bills, I'm hoping for, and heck of a building permit on that. So that's a big project. So good for them.
Yep, thank you, Doug.
You bet.
All right. Anybody else?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Dunn?
Mary Amsbot, the FCDA director, and I had a recent meeting with the North Iowa Corridor Housing Director. North Iowa Corridor Development has a kind of a subgroup, sub-board that deals with housing initiatives in the North Iowa Corridor. And they're nice enough to share their director, the housing director, to come down and meet with us and give us some, she's an expert in housing. And so with our recent Iowa State University grant for our rural housing study that we had completed last year, and the fact there's housing need in Hampton with information that we gained from the survey that was part of that. We're working, I've been working close with Mary at FCDA to try to meet some of those needs and determine what can we do for partnerships in the community to address the housing needs. So it was a great meeting, and we appreciate North Iowa Corridor for allowing her to educate us. A couple of other things. Patrick's last meeting, thanks for your dedicated service on the city council for many years. It's been nice working with you, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. And I'd answer any questions anybody has.
Mr. Lamos?
A lot of times I'll listen to the KLMJ and they'll have news articles. Wasn't there something, some kind of grants going on for housing in Iowa?
Well, possibly there's all sorts of different grants for different types of things, some to entities, some to developers. So I'm not sure exactly which one you're referring to, but there's a lot of different angles on grants
Do
related
you
to
know
housing.
if Habitat's rehabbing existing houses now, or
I
what
think
are
they do have a program for that. I think it's dependent on funding. Habitat is very active in north of here with many projects. Unfortunately, they can't seem to get things rolling here, and it's for lack of applicants. So
I've had a couple people asking me about what's going on at Crossroads. Are they gonna open a business again, or is it just?
well, we met, Mark and I and Doug met with the owners rep from Utah on site, a couple of their employees, and their intent is to get everything into compliance and get it reopened, find a new operator to lease to, and get things squared away.
So they'll be selling gas again, or?
They hope to.
Okay, that's good, thank you.
All right. Anybody else for Mr. Dunt? All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. We'll move on to our council tree reports. I got them numbered tonight. Pat, you get to go last.
Really?
So first, let's start with Ms. Brody.
I don't have anything other than Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and just nice working with you for the little bit that I got.
You bet. All right. Thank you. Mr. Davies.
Well, Pat, I wanted to thank you for your years of service, and I've really greatly appreciated the opportunity to work with you, and wish you nothing but the best.
You bet.
And then
Thank
Merry Christmas to everyone also.
All right. Thank you, sir. Ms. Griefy.
Well, same. Enjoyed working with you, Pat. Now you'll have time to watch one more episode.
Oh, some whiskey.
Yeah, yeah.
Socks.
I do want to, and REC, thank you so much. Year after year after year, you do such a fantastic job, and it is wonderful for Hampton. And I just want to mention that it's been a great Christmas season for Hampton, I think, for downtown Hampton. And I'm just so proud of our citizens for supporting local. They really go out of their way, and I just want to thank each and every customer that walks through the door. It's been a good season, and thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Holmstrom.
Well, last Thursday, on December 18th, I was given the opportunity to complete Part 1 of a Municipal Leadership Academy. The first part of the academy explains basic operations of municipal governments, budget and finance, and open meetings and records. What impressed me the most was the amount of preparation and planning of the city budget and financing. It was a definite eye-opener for me as a newly elected council member. The amount of information required and the timeline in which each piece of the budgeting process the state requires to be completed is very strict. And the city will soon be formulating this next budget, and I just wanted to thank the city manager and city staff in advance for ensuring the successful outcome of the timeliness of this process. It's quite a process. And I also would like to thank Councilman Palmer for his contribution of his time and service to the community of Hampton for the many years, and wish him nothing but success in his next endeavors. And I would also like to wish each of you and everyone here a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Lamos.
Yeah, I'd like to wish Pat well also, and I'm sorry I don't have a poem made up ode to Pat. Also, I'd like to really thank the REC. That is a hallmark picture there.
Yep.
The only way you could make that better is if there wasn't footprints in the snow. When I worked at Mid-American Energy and I saw the REC guys come, and I'd say, here comes the competition. I wish Mid-American could, do something for the community like that. So I would like to wish everyone a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, well, I tell you
Mr.
what,
Palmer.
I told somebody it's 7 pages, single-spaced, 8 font.
Got about 5 minutes.
So we'll be here for like 20 minutes. But I just want to say a big thank you to everyone tonight. It's been a pleasure serving on the Hampton City Council the last 7 years and 15 years in all, and I think we're in good hands for the future. Got a lot of thank yous, so let's get into those. I guess I don't want to leave anyone out, so I'm going to start with Becky and Kelsey in the front office. These two ladies are the city's right hands, if you will. They keep us up to date on meetings. They help Doug, Ron, and the folks who come to the window. I only have one beef, and it's not with the gals. It's how some of our citizens treat those young ladies out there. Your late water bill is not their emergency. I've heard stories from them being yelled at, swore at, in Hampton. Seriously, we're better than that. I understand things come up, but taking your problems out on these two gals is just out of bounds. We can be better than that. So thank you, ladies, for your hard work. Our police chief, Mark Morrison, is simply remarkable. He's the 6th chief I've worked under. His officers are on board with his policies. They work as a team. Mark can be the nicest guy in the world, and yet, if he must make a point, there's no mistake in the point he's making. Like I always said, if you don't like our police department, the next time you have an emergency, call a crackhead. Again, for me, the shining moment of pride for the PD was when the PD tracked down that clown who was putting up all those racist posters. Mark will probably pass the credit around, but the bottom line, he was in charge of that investigation. I want to salute Doug Tarr, our Public Works Director. He's been nothing but a gentleman to me, even when I've come at him with some issues that need to be addressed around town. He's taken the time to explain them to me in a way that I can go back and explain them. But here's a tip. If you're breaking a code, whether it's tall grass or a building code or whatever, you may be directing your anger at the wrong person. Doug is just telling them what we've told him to do. I've never had a bad interaction with Doug, even though he sends me lawn mowing notices every spring. Of the 3 public works directors I've worked with on the council, he's truly a professional. I wish him the best in whatever he has cooked up after he retires. I also want to give a shout out to the city employees, the crew that keeps our city going strong out on the streets, the water plant, the sewer plant, the cemetery. I've never been as proud of the crew as I am of the crew that we have now. Proud of the staff of the Hampton Public Library. They're doing their best despite financial curveballs that get thrown at them. And I hope we continue to fully support them financially in the future. Earlier this year, our city manager, Ron Dent, had applied to be the city administrator in Clear Lake, and as he became one of the 2 finalists, I had a speaking engagement at Clear Lake at the Noons Lions Club. At my table was Clear Lake Mayor Nelson Crabb. Mayor Crabb mentioned the fact that I was from Hampton and they were working and looking at Ron. I said, well, we're still working with Ron on a few things. I just don't know if he's ready to move on. The mayor, as serious as a heart attack, says he's one of our 2 finalists and we're proud to have him on our staff. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. But I'm certainly glad that he stayed here. I'm not going to say that Ron is low energy, but I will say he's low drama. Speaking from working with the 2 other city managers, the drama they brought, to the table. Ron is very stable. He makes the hard things look easy, and his style of leadership is strong but very fair. At one time, I wanted to stay on the council for the sole purpose of helping to pick a new city manager when that time came, but with our current council, we're going to do just fine. It's been a pleasure working with Ron over the last many years. One of my favorite Ron stories is when we passed the adult entertainment zoning ordinance. We had to have 3 readings. Some of the words in the code were somewhat graphic, and Ron read them like a champ, even repeating the word areola several times. It didn't help that many of us in the crowd were snickering during the readings. On the second and third readings, everyone on the council just agreed that we wouldn't have Ron read that again, we knew we were good. But some elderly lady come to the podium and wanted to hear the third reading, so Ron read it again in a slow and steady pace. Afterwards, the lady said, "Wow, I'm sorry I asked for that," and returned to her seat. But it's been great to work with Ron and proud to call him a friend. Many years ago, around 2001 or so, a younger Barry Lamos and a younger Pat Palmer ran to solve all the city's problems. Councilman Gerald Bessman joined in, and we started to clean up the town and swing the direction of some of its policies. My favorite story came later in our tenure when Councilman Lamos, Councilman Eckhart, and I rode with Chief Wabshaw to point out some nuisances, and we didn't even make it out of the parking lot before Barry started in on Jim. Finally, Jim slammed on the brakes, scolded the 3 of us about telling him about all the blight in Hampton. I mentioned Councilman Bessman. Gerald passed away in 2003 while on the council, and Barry and I were ushers at his funeral, and Pat Safko gave a wonderful eulogy. I spent half the time in the funeral in the basement bathroom crying, as Gerald was just the best. I miss him so much. I was very glad when Jerry Griefey was elected to the council, and after about a month, I think we both regretted that. In the beginning, we butted heads a lot. But, we rode to Sioux City together for a League of Cities conference a few years ago, and we had a good talk. She was going through some stuff, and I was so busy with work. Being at this event was hard to get to. It was just great to talk and get a better understanding of the mutual goals we had rather than the differences we had. I came away from that ride as a better person. I think she did too. Partly personal earlier this year, I saved a kitten from drowning in a garbage can in my front yard next to my front steps. I was pretty proud of myself for getting that kitty into the house, drying the kitty off, and finding him a forever home. This pales in comparison to what Jerry has done for a young man in this community, and I'm very, very proud of her for that. Sometimes it truly takes a village. Councilman Bill Holmstrom is a very detailed-oriented person. I feel that budget hearings and budget meetings will go better with him, asking a lot of questions and getting a better understanding of the things in the area of the budget. Budget meetings are not for the faint of heart, and the key is to ask a lot of questions about where the money goes, so I urge you to do that in this coming budget cycle. There's nothing worse than some whiz-bang at Casey's asking you, where's the money go? Oh, they've never been to a council meeting, but they're demanding an answer. I always get asked, why doesn't Kristen talk more? Well, first I said she's new, and many times a new person in the first few or dozen meetings really needs to get comfortable with what that is. And second, she's a dispatcher at the Sheriff's Department. She gets paid to listen to people and then make a decision based on her training and policies. How would you feel if you called 911 and the person on the other end of the phone interrupted you all the time and talked over you? I have no doubt Kristen will find her voice in her future. With me leaving, that will certainly open up some time to speak, that's for sure. Councilman Jim Davies harkens back to the days of when my dad was the mayor of Hampton. I often think to myself, when it comes to Jim's public service and volunteer spirit, has Jim done more for Hampton than Hampton could ever repay? Or has Hampton done more for Jim than Jim could ever repay? Those questions are questions that Jim can only answer, but somewhere in the middle is the truth. Hampton is a better place because of Jim, and it's been a true pleasure working with him over these many years. This leads me to our mayor, Steve Birdsall. Steve was a couple years older in high school, of course, much smarter than I was. Steve moved away and then came back, and sure glad he did. I've served under 4 mayors, and my father was mayor, and I don't think there was anyone more liked than Steve. To borrow a line from the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, they all adore him. The sportos, the motorheads, the geeks, the bloods, the wastoids, the drebes, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude. Steve has many friends who are at Pit Row Pub as he does at the Hampton Country Club. And speaking from experience, my dad sure didn't have that. I do want to talk a little bit about courage. It's no secret that Steve has had some few health issues. He had a heart surgery. We're all worried about that, especially Councilman Hodge, you called him 3 times a day. Then the stroke happened after that. I worked with 2 radio station owners that had strokes, Wayne Grant and Craig Donnelly, so I know they can be both mentally and physically crippling. I'm willing to bet that there isn't one person in this town who would come back to being mayor after suffering a stroke that Steve did to lead our meetings. And that, my friends, takes courage. The courage to put yourself out there as a leader of our community, to run meetings that are not only for this room but worldwide on YouTube, knowing that sometimes the words you say may not come out right. I'm sure that the drive home after the first few meetings you came back were pretty emotional, because they would have been for me. Mayor, we're all glad you stayed the course. Like I said before, everyone likes you. You're a righteous dude. I also want to give props where they're due as well. Even though Steve may struggle from time to time, we as a council never spoke over him to correct him when he had something that was misspoken or he was attempting to say. The claims are written out on our agenda. If I was Steve, that'd be the last thing I'd ever read, is that claims number. Again, it's a tribute to Steve and the courage he has to do the job he was elected to do, no matter the mountain ahead of him. I always enjoyed being at League of Cities with him and the interactions with others. Steve has never met a stranger, and he always wears a smile. I'd like to thank the citizens who put me in this seat and wish to wish Jean the best of luck in her capacity serving Hampton. My best advice is we can't be everything to everyone, but when you treat people how you want to be treated, even if they don't show you the same respect, you can still hold your head high that you did your best. My biggest thank goes out to my wife, Becky, for putting up with a lot of this nonsense and always trying to see the bright side of things throughout the time I've served on the city council and the times I haven't served but sat at home complaining about the city and what I would do different. My friends are also owed a bit of credit for putting up the extended discussions on city ordinances and rules and the friendly debates we would have. In 1976, I made a pledge to the Boy Scouts and still stands true. On my honor, I will do my best. I hope that I've done that for you. I want to wind up this with this little speech with a quote from our mayor, because I've heard him say it at the end of meetings several times, and it rings very, very true. Hampton has many good people living here. If you can't find one, be one. It's been my pleasure to serve you, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. All right. Mayor's report. I got a couple items here. First thing I want to mention too is that once we're done and adjourned, we will be swearing in our new council members and the mayor so that we can work again next year. So if you want to stick around, do that, or see that, that'd be great. We will also be having cookies for Mr. Palmer after the meeting, and you're welcome to stick around, have a glass of water, some cookies, and visit. Let's see. Pat Palmer. All I could say when I started writing this, oh, Patrick. I have literally known Patrick his entire life, because I am a few years older than him. But we've shared time through our young lives and all the way up. So we've touched each other a lot. I've enjoyed my time serving on the city council meeting with you. You're probably one of the mentors, because of your length of service, that when I got on the city council and I was quiet and freaked out, and just like Kristen, but I listened to you and learned a lot from that, and of course everybody else that was on the council at that time. Your time on the city council has served the city well, and you have had a hand in many decisions to make Hampton a better place to live. and for that, we thank you. You always have something to say on the topic at hand and assist in moving the discussion further forward, mostly in a relevant manner. I feel that we should probably, without you here, we should appoint a person to take your place. So when we make claims at a new counselor's first meeting, we can continue to say, it's your first meeting and you're gonna go spend $115,000. Without fail. The guy nails it every time. Just a thought. I'm certain we haven't heard the last of you. We believe that you will, I believe that you will continue doing what you can to promote Hampton, although maybe in a little more formal role, but I know you'll still be around, and everybody else here does know that as well. I wish you all the best in all your future endeavors, wherever that may take you. And again, thank you for your service and your commitment to the community of Hampton.
Thank you.
Thank
Steve.
you.
Thank you.
Next. Ever remember when you were in school and it came once every 9 weeks? We had 9 weeks back then. I don't know what they have now, but, and you had to move desks. And it was always a really exciting time. Okay, well, we're gonna move desks for our next meeting and kind of shuffle things up for the council on the dais. We have a very balanced council now. We've got 3 female members. We've got 3 male members. A very diverse group. Everybody that I know of that is on the council always has good information to add to our discussions. I want everybody to kind of draw off of these people, that have been here a while. We've got some newly appointed council members that haven't been on very long, And then we've got one that's newly elected, Jean coming to start with us next month. So I want just use everybody. Use your council, your fellow councilman, because it's trust me, I've used mine the last 6 years, and I will continue to use them. I learn as much from the new people as I learn from the old people. So just keep that in mind when I pass this out. You guys can hate me or whatever you want to do. But we kind of just, I think I got 3 there, quite a few. So for the next meeting on January 5th, just sometime between now and then, just, if you got stuff in your drawers, move to your next new station. We're going to start up here at the beginning, or in the front here, with Ward 1, Kristen. Ward 2, Barry Lamos. Mr. Davies is not moving because he's still the mayor pro tem, so we're going to need him close to me. Me and Ron are not moving ourselves. Jean will be over here. And then Bill Holmstrom, he'll be where Jerry is now, and Jerry will be moving to the end seat. So hopefully this works out for, like I said, we got a good group. Let's all work together. Let's shuffle it up a little bit and let's just move forward. We've got another year ahead of us, and let's make it a good one. Other than that, Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank everybody, including the public, for another great year. I think we've accomplished a lot of stuff this year. We've had some struggles, we've had some wins, but as long as we keep moving forward and putting one foot in front of the other one, we can do this. So let's knock that out and do it again. And again, we're going to have cookies. Feel free to stick around. That's the end of my rant, so I would say entertain a motion to adjourn this regular session of the Hampton City Council.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Palmer is the last one, second by Ms. Rhodey. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.